Hey everybody and welcome back. I'm Fox, this is FoxeoGames, and this is Dark Souls Remastered, the playthrough, episode 12, I do believe. When last we left off, the episode got extended just a little bit because we had an invasion. It was a really cool fight, old school style. I won very easily. So hey, maybe I just got the best of them in that moment, but hey, it's worth checking out. So watch the last bit of episode 11. And yeah, you should enjoy it a lot. One of the topics, the main topic, not quite the exclusive topic, but the main, almost exclusive topic of this series has been the manosphere, masculinity, relationships, and what it takes to be a man and being a man in today's overly feminized, gynocentric society. We've used a lot of themes from the book by Rollo Tomasi, The Red Pill. Some of the themes overlap with this group known as MGTOW. That's the acronym for Men Going Their Own Way. However, that's not specifically something I've gotten much involved in. I only know bits and pieces of it, although I know there's a lot of overlapping themes between the different manosphere teachings. That's just the way it is. I mean, they all kind of teach some of the similar things. So you'll notice that what all of them overlap on 100%, like, what is there in the men's rights activist movement, we got an invasion, in the MGTOW movement, in the Red Pill movement, in the Black Pill movement? What is in all of these movements? What is being taught about men in the manosphere and masculinity and relationships, and about women? What is a consistent factor in all of those? And once you find what is consistent in all of them, then you've probably found what is the closest to the truth. Not that everything they agree with is absolute 100% true, but you found something that's more likely to be true than if it's only taught by one of the groups. So we'll see how it goes. This is gonna be a more interesting fight. I'm just swinging because he's swinging, because heck, why not? Oh, he got me. The parry's in this. Oh, I tried to parry, but no good. I was owned. And now we won't be in human form, so yeah, I'm gonna push down on the plunger to my French press, which is over here brewing up some nice black coffee made from Starbucks French roast beans, and pouring it into my Mr. Frosty mug. It's a mug, a fairly tall mug, a small but tall mug, with an image of a snowman on each side, who I have affectionately nicknamed Mr. Frosty. I had no idea there'd be so many invasions here. I'm not particularly interested in invasions for this playthrough. They do sort of throw a wrench in the plans for how this playthrough is supposed to go. But hey, that's okay. They're the occasional unexpected excitement. And hang on, is what's his face not here? I thought we freed him, did we not? Oh, we didn't talk to him in Firelink Shrine, so I guess he won't appear if we didn't talk to him. I wonder how many souls I need to level. Let me make sure. Yeah, 27,000 souls is quite a lot. I got those from fighting the dude in the last episode, PvP style. Oh, I need about 10,000 more souls. So that's quite a bit, but I think we may have a boss soul. Oh, Soul of a Great Hero. 10,000? 20,000. Damn. It's going to be a lot more than I needed. Let's do Vitality. Well, 10,000 is less than 27. So if you find something that's consistently taught by MGTOW, Red Pill, Black Pill, men's rights activist, that is probably a pretty accurate statement, whether it's about men, women, relationships, whatever. Because if they all share it in common, then it's sort of one of those consistencies across the board among these different groups that do disagree with each other. And in some situations, quite a bit, depending on the topic. So, no, men's rights activists are not necessarily MGTOW. MGTOW are not necessarily Red Pill. Red Pill are not Black Pill. They all have some different angles that they go at it from. They all have some different teachings. This area right here just looks absolutely terrible without any mods installed. It looks like garbage, doesn't it? It's weird how horrible it looks, even in this remastered version. Oh wow, it only takes 3 shots. Here, of course, is a great place to upgrade magic weapons. Of course, you can also farm them in the forest, where you fight the dragon dude. By the way, after this, we're going to do the expansion area, Oolacile. So don't let me forget that. I'm likely to forget it if I don't stay on top of myself here. So one of the themes that we talked about last time was deferring to women for permission, and that you shouldn't do it. It just doesn't work out very well. Now, this has been probably my most controversial playthrough in terms of the content of what I talk about, not Dark Souls. Nothing's controversial about Dark Souls, right, guys? Let's try this coffee. Oh, it's dark. It's black. It's blacker than the void. The void is space. Or is space the void? I don't need those chunks, but if I did, this would be probably the best place to farm them. I farmed them earlier in the other, in the forested area, just because I don't want to wait, you know, all the way until this area to upgrade my weapon. I like to get my weapon upgraded as soon as possible, even if I have to farm it somewhere that takes longer. That's why I farm the slugs in Blighttown in most playthroughs. That's the first place where you can easily farm large Titanite. 2, 3. 3 licks to get to the center of a Tootsie Pop. Or at least a crystal golem. Giant crystal golem, blue crystal golem. Crystal blue golem, blue crystal golem. Golem blue crystal? Nah, I'm pretty sure it's not golem blue crystal. Let's see. Eventually we'll get his attention. And when we do, it'll be too late for him. There we go. Yeah. Alright, I think we can take those blue Titanite chunks and turn them into... Do they turn into large or... do they turn into Titanite chunks? I don't know. Either Titanite chunk or large Titanite shard. So if you have really good upgrade items like that, but you don't need them for anything, you're never going to use them in that playthrough, you can actually go ahead and feed them to Frompt, and Frompt essentially will break them down to a lower component. And I think these turn into either regular chunks or large Titanite. Either way, something you might be able to use. This area is interesting. It's pretty unique. I don't think there are any other imaginary platforms anywhere else in the game. Not that I can think of, at least. I think this is the only area that has invisible platforms. I said imaginary, really invisible. I typically leave the butterflies alone. The butterflies here don't offer me anything I need, except death. And I don't need that, so that's really nothing I need. Okay, this guy's tricky. This area will push you down at a certain point, so be careful. There we go. That worked really well. The best thing you can do is roll directly into him. I feel like he should drop an item, like have a guaranteed drop. But he doesn't, so whatever. Oh, here we go. Usually I don't go down there. I just skip that area, so you know what? Let's do it. Can I fall down on him? It'd be nice if I could fall down on him, but I can't. So let's go this route. Blue Titanite chunk. Totally didn't need that. Oh my goodness. Okay, so yeah. There's a reason why I don't do that. I'm remembering it all now. It's coming back to me. Why I take the paths I do in this game. In a way, I've quite found the path of least resistance for me in this game. You know, when it comes to going the back route into Blighttown and skipping the shitty wooden structure. Among other things. Oh, of course, it could be my lack of experience with these areas that's causing me to feel like they're tougher than they really are. Oh. There we go. So you don't want to defer to a woman for permission. You don't want to have that concept of, oh, happy wife, happy life, make her happy, do what she wants, let her control the frame, all that stuff. You want to be in control of the frame if you're a man. I'm speaking to you guys as men because, let's be honest, I'm pretty sure it's either 100% or real close to 100% male viewership on this video. There we go. And the other thing I think we discussed to some extent was that it's always better, and this is one of the 9 rules of Tomasi, the guy who wrote this book, the Rational Male. It's always better to develop new relationships with other women, with new women, than to try to fix or go back to an old relationship. Because one of the biggest problems you'll run into is that once you have established the frame, the workings, the setup that you have going in a relationship, it's really hard to break from that. A woman is going to pretty much follow the lead you've established, good or bad. Women don't want to hear this. Women want to think that they have 100% complete agency. They don't follow a man's lead. They're their own woman. They're strong, independent women. Yeah, right. Anyway, you know, people follow leaders. Women in particular follow leaders. It's almost, yeah, I would say it's genetic. It's in their DNA. To men, to some extent, or men as well to some extent, but not nearly as much. So once you've set the standard for the relationship, once you've set the frame as you being kind of weak, you being the beta, getting some coffee here, you being the, you know what, I got some water on my desk, so let me just clean this off real quick because I don't want a water spot on this desk. I have a nice, excuse me, L-shaped desk. I got it at this budget place. I imagine this desk would have been worth $400, $500. It's hardwood, heavy, solid hardwood, L-shaped. I could fit 2 computers and 2 monitors on this desk. Now I just have 1 computer and 2 monitors, but it's really nice, the size and everything, quality. It has a keyboard tray, drawers and whatnot. I got it on sale for like $75. Incredible deal. But anyway, once you've established the frame in the relationship, that's pretty much it. It's really, really difficult to break from that. If you've established yourself as a beta, if you've established yourself as weak, if you start trying to be alpha, if you try to start being alpha, I don't know what the best way to say that. You know what I'm saying. Generally, women are not going to respond well to that. They're going to see it as it's fake. You're being fake. You're not. Oh, nice, nice. We do want twinkling. This is a spot where you can farm it, by the by. They're going to see it as fake. They're going to see it as you playing a part. You're playing a role. You're not being yourself. And this is true in general. If you start going to the gym and trying to work out, she's going to see it as you being something that you're not. You're not a gym guy. You don't go to the gym. Well, you're going to go over there and build a bunch of muscle, and you're not some musclehead. That's not what you do. People want you to essentially stay the way you are, good or bad, believe it or not. You'd think that if you're married or in a long-term relationship, your girl, well, she's not really yours, but I say that, and we'll get to that later. Your girl would want you to be better, right? I mean, if your girl said that she's going to go to the gym and start working out, and she's going to really work on getting, you know, that shape and have a nicer butt and toned, firm thighs and better abs and all that. I mean, you're going to be 100% for that, no question. But, and a lot of women might be for that as well in their guy, to be more toned and in better shape. But you have to understand that there is a difference in how men and women approach this. Women put a lot less value on looks, especially the longer you're in a relationship. They tend to look more at your frame, your attitude, your personality, the strength you display, not necessarily the strength of your physical muscles. Now, I'm not saying it doesn't matter how you look. I don't want people walking away with this impression. But they see you as getting in better shape as a sort of threat to her. Because if you got a bit of a pot belly, you know, you got that dad bod going, right? You got 2 kids. She doesn't look as good as she used to. She doesn't look terrible, but she doesn't look as good as she used to. You don't look awful, but you got a bit of a dad bod going. You don't have any pop-out muscles to speak of. You're not going to be flexing in the mirror for anybody. And, you know, you're not in the greatest of shape. However, if you start working out, getting in shape, hitting the gym 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days a week, you've got muscles that are popping out. You can start to see those veins, the vascularity is going. You're benching a lot more. You're squatting a lot more. Other women notice you. And you know who's going to notice them noticing you before you do? Your girl will. Your girlfriend or your wife. She will notice other men noticing you. Women, other men. Well, some men might, but that's a different story entirely. She will notice that before you do, most likely. So the whole point of that is, let's see, why don't we do this? I figure that Curse Bite will give us, will be more help than the Wolf Ring, because the Wolf Ring, I don't anticipate being able to poise through anything he does. Oh shoot, I didn't expect that. Oh crap, oh crap. Okay, I thought I was already drinking the Estus, but let's Estus up real quick. Okay, oh, that stupid kick. I hate that kick so much. Whenever I do the kick, it's always by mistake. Oh, I got that up to like 23, 28 damage. That was nice. Alright, that wasn't bad. A little sloppier than usual, but that's okay. We just sort of did it. Rambo mode. So, your girl will notice other women noticing you even before you do. Okay, so that gives us an additional 1 point. That gives us 2 points in additional armor. That gives us 1. So remember I told you chest usually gives you the most bang for your buck? So for the same number of Twinkling Titanite, I get 2 points of overall defense. And I wasn't looking at the other stats, just the basic defense. You can look at all the stats in general, and that's usually true. All right, let's level up to, let's see, 40 endurance and 41 dexterity. Get some more health, why not? That doesn't hurt. Or does it? We'll go ahead and reverse our hollowing. Maybe we'll get invaded somewhere else. You know, I wasn't even thinking about it, but I guess we're going to hit the expansion area, the DLC, in this episode, right? Let's warp to the Undead Parish. We need to go talk to, or free, what's her face? Something of Oolacile. Dusk. So, if you get in better shape, she feels threatened. It increases her competition anxiety. It's the notion that, hey, he looks better now. He could find another woman. And even if that's true where you're at, maybe you're thinking like, well, you know, Fox, I'm not exactly hitting the gym every day, but I look okay, and I think maybe I look a little bit better than my girl because she's let herself slide. True, but as long as you look pretty much the way you always have to her, she sees you the same, even if she's changed. If you start improving yourself, noticeably improving yourself, she will notice. And in many cases, most women are probably a little insecure. I would say the vast majority of women are insecure. You could say the same about men, but they show it in different ways. The woman's going to show it by suddenly cooking more. Maybe she doesn't cook a lot. So if she can't cook, she'll bring home food. She'll buy food. And what is she going to start getting you? She's bringing home McDonald's and Burger King and Arby's, and she's bringing home cookies from the store. She's buying more junk food. You'll notice her buying more junk food. And she won't necessarily eat much of it, but she'll definitely encourage you to. She'll offer it to you. She'll bring it to you. She'll encourage you to eat it. She'll tell you how good these cookies are, this is and that is. And, you know, at first you might think, okay, she's just being nice. I mean, she's not going to make it super obvious. She's not going to run in there with a whole batch of cookies and be like, eat all this and get fat. But she will be instinctively trying to get you to gain a little weight. Because she knows that if she can get you back to where you were, she feels more calm. She feels more comfortable with that. It's easier for her to recognize you for what you were than to try to recognize this new you that looks better. There we go. Oh, I forgot. This is where you can get a bow right away. See? This is what happens when you don't play the game for a long time and you don't know what you're doing anymore. This is a quick and easy way to get a bow up straight out of the gate. And you know what? We're going to get that Grass Crest shield because it's a really good shield. I wouldn't mind actually... Oh, okay. Okay. Okay, what? What? I disagree with that 100%. I'm not sure what the hell happened, but I'm pretty sure it has nothing to do with the reality of physics or how it should work even in this game. Whatever. The game is playing with me. They really don't want this game to go well for me for some reason. I don't know who they is, but they is. Let's do it again, folks. All right. Didn't really lose much other than our human state. We can get that back easily. We've got plenty of humanity in our inventory. I don't anticipate we'll make it to the boss of anything here. I don't think we're gonna complete the Artorias boss fight before this episode's over, but we'll see. So, improving yourself, number one way. Well, I mean, like physically improving yourself, working out and all that. Number one way to kind of improve yourself overall. If you get in better shape, you feel better, you look better, and when you feel and look better, you know that, so you act better. You increase your value. Anytime you increase your value, you know it. You instinctively know it. Everyone knows it. Everyone who sees you knows it. And you can increase your value in a lot of ways. But I think the easiest, quickest way to do it, believe it or not, for most people, the way that they have control over is to work out, to lift weights. And that's for men and women, although women have a different focus. Women aren't looking to lift super heavy and gain as much muscle as possible. They just want to tone up, gain a little bit of shape muscle, as I call it. Get rid of all the fat, and then kind of have that physique that you know, benefits women. Oh, yeah. A lot of people really like this guy's halberd. They make a beeline for this straight out of the gate. Oh, and I got it, too. Particularly speedrunners. It's kind of their weapon of choice. Their weapon du jour. We'll hit this in here. Not a bonfire I really use very often. I think it's probably one of the most useless bonfires in the game. We'll stay topped off on the repairs just because we can. So, by doing that self-improvement, you see improvement in your relationships. But the problem most guys encounter is that improvement often comes with a lot of initial resistance. Women will fight you when you try to improve yourself, the women you know, the woman you're with in a long-term relationship, because she knows that that means that she must either improve or run the risk of losing you. And you may try to reassure her that you're not going anywhere, you're dedicated to her, you're going to stay with her, you would never leave her. Well, that's a mistake for a couple of reasons. Number one, she won't necessarily believe that. Even if she believes it in her head, she's not going to believe it in her heart, if that makes sense. Sounds cheesy and stupid, but I think you know what I'm trying to get at. What you truly believe deep down is not necessarily what you espouse that you believe verbally. Oh, these guys only take 2 shots. Very nice. But they don't drop as many of the blue Titanite chunks. It's possible for this Hydra to kill them with its water attacks, but there's no guarantee that that'll happen, so whatever. Ooh, I just made a straight up beeline and was totally careless in my approach. Oh, yep, I knew it. I knew I'd have to get hit somewhere. Shield, shield, shield. Okay. Okay. I'm just swinging wildly. Oh, there we go. That's nice. That's nice. That's very nice. Kick. Jeez. I swear, this game. If I could disable that kick, I would. I wish they'd included that as a feature. The kick can be really frustrating. I'm going to be in trouble here. I'm going to have to hit him with a whole bunch of arrows at this rate. There's the ledge, so we're not going to fall off that. Go, 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 go. Okay, I'm pretty sure I hit them all 3 times. I don't know why only the last one registered. Oh, nice, nice, nice. Very nice. I definitely did not anticipate that happening. I thought I'd have to start shooting with a bow and an arrow. Normally, I'm not able to get all of the heads with the melee weapon, so I don't know what happened there. Now, we talked about self-improvement. The other ways you improve yourself is obviously with finances and status. So physically, you can improve yourself. Financially, that also includes status or power, which is a little different. Women are attracted to power, even if it doesn't necessarily come with money. They want both. They want money and power. But, oh, do I need to go... Shoot, I think I need to go call up Dusk over there at her summon sign before she'll show up there. I'll try this and we'll see. So an example of power might be, even though this sounds silly, a guy who's manager of the store. It's the idea that he's the manager. The woman doesn't want to say, yeah, my guy's he's a cashier, he just runs the register. She wants to say, oh, he's the manager of the store. That's better sounding. Now, to some people, they're thinking, Joe, gee, manage a store. Like, there are lots of store managers out in the world. Who cares, right? All right, so now we got to go get that pendant. But being a manager of the store is much better than just being an average everyday employee. Like doing the hiring. Now, in a greater sense, how about president or CEO? Even if the company doesn't make a lot of money, you're in charge. Also, positions of other kinds of authority and power. That would include legal. And in a big way, let's see, the Duke's Archives, the Crystal Cave. Which one does that go to? Oh, that goes to the, that's not going to be the fastest way. Probably the fastest way is Anor Londo, I think. Pouring some more coffee. Another example would be like law enforcement. A lot of women love cops, police, because the police, even though they typically don't make a lot of money, depends I mean, there are some cities where officers top out somewhere around like $80,000. But then again, you have to look at the living standards and the cost of living around there. Those officers who make $80,000, people are thinking, well, wow, gee, 80,000, you know, they don't have any special criteria. I can't believe they pay them $80,000. I'm like, yeah, well, they can't live anywhere near where they work because those houses are too expensive. So, you know, they got to live like 45 minutes, an hour and a half away. But anyway, that's a different story entirely. Livability, where you work. So a lot of women will like the power, the status that comes from dating or being married to a police officer. And that's why there are all these groups for police officer wives. Not so much for police officer husbands. You'll notice guys who are married to female cops, they don't brag about it. They don't go, oh, well, my wife's an officer. And, you know, they don't wear shirts saying Mr. Officer, you know, stuff like that. Whereas women will typically take a lot more pride in it. That's because they like the idea of being with a man who has power and authority. One of the things that Tomasi talks about in his book is that women want to be with men that other men want to be and that other women want to be with. Though he says it with, you know, some more sexual overtones to it. So, if you're in a long-term relationship that isn't working and you try to fix it by becoming a better person, don't make the mistake I made in my marriage. This was my mistake, but it wasn't that I didn't do anything wrong. You can make mistakes, but not do something wrong, if that makes sense. And the mistake I made was in thinking that if I improved myself and became a better person, that would improve the relationship in and of itself. Not realizing that, quite to the contrary, that can actually cause problems in the relationship. Additional problems, more than before. Because now you've got this woman that's angry, bitter, whatever situation happens to be, whatever her... Okay, that little attack right there, it's kind of annoying. Now she's going to get anxious and worried because you look better, and part of that is going to involve her trying to show you up. Her trying to somehow establish that, oh, you can't find another woman. You're not going to be better than me. You're not going to look better than me. And she may express that in anger. She may express that by doing things she wouldn't normally do. Like, she may go to the extent that, she's going to call the police now and lie and say that you hit her. Or she's going to call up your family and friends and make up lies about you to try to bring you back down to her level. She wants you, and this is true of a lot of guys too, but a woman would want you to be as miserable and sad and fat and ugly as she is. Because if you're happy and fit and attractive and she's not, she knows that sooner or later you're going to ditch her. You're going to move on. And even if she says, like, she hates you and can't stand you and you're the worst person in the world and she wishes she never married you, or she wishes you guys had never moved in, or she wishes that she'd never met you, or whatever the case is, end of the day, she doesn't leave. She's fully capable of leaving. She'll come up with 100 excuses why she can't, but she doesn't. Now, some of this is from my personal experience, but I don't want you to think all of it is. Some of the examples I give are either friends of mine or people I see when I work. My job allows me to see a lot of this crap, way more than I'd actually like. Where are we going? Oh, yes. So I see a lot of this. I see it in real time. I see people when they're at their worst in relationships arguing and fighting and fussing with each other. And I hear the threats, and I see the text messages, and I hear the voicemails that men and women leave for each other and things that they say. So oftentimes when you start improving yourself and getting better, the first thing that happens is that she becomes really nasty. She gets really nasty with you. And she's doing a couple things. Let me see, what do I need here? Level up. I need 4386. Okay. She'll get really nasty with you for a couple different reasons. The first reason is she is just She's mad. She's angry at you because she doesn't... I can't remember what it was. I'll just pop one more and that should be good enough. She's mad at you because she doesn't want you being... Oh, it's 4386. She doesn't want you being better than her. She doesn't want you leaving her. Even if she says she can't stand you and she hates your guts and wishes you'd never met and blah, 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 and all that stuff, truth be told, one thing she doesn't want is for you to leave. She wants you guys to stay together because she's comfortable with the misery. Oh, wow, so close. She's comfortable with how things are, even if they're not ideal and even if it's what she says it's not what she wants. Let's do another point into health. So she'll get really nasty at first, and if you haven't learned a lot about game, how to talk to a woman, how to get a woman from angry to not angry, how to interact with a woman in a way that's beneficial for both of you, how to handle a woman when she gets angry and yells and screams and starts throwing a hissy fit, how to handle a woman when she's being unreasonable and emotional. If you haven't learned all of that, you're going to do what most guys do, and you're going to basically treat her like she's a man. You're going to try to logically reason with her. Well, you cannot logically reason with a person who is not logically reasonable. That's just not a thing. You are trying to use logic. You're trying to apply simple if-then logical statements to a computer that doesn't have that code. It doesn't recognize that code. That's what you're doing. It's like you're trying to compile C++ code in JavaScript. You're trying to compile Python in an assembler compiler or a C++ compiler. Those are different programming languages for those that don't know. It won't work. Long story short, it won't work. The compiler won't recognize the code. It won't go anywhere. And that's how most men and women end up arguing with each other. She argues emotionally. He argues with reason and logic. Now, it's possible to try to argue with reason and logic while being unreasonable. I don't know if that makes any sense, but I can't explain it too much better than that. It's possible to think you're being reasonable and logical, or at least to approach things from that direction without actually properly applying reason and logic. It just means you're failing in the argument. It doesn't change the style of argumentation or the methodology you're using. You could argue philosophically and just be wrong because you're applying the philosophical principles incorrectly, but you're still arguing philosophically. So men tend to argue reasonably and logically, even if they apply it wrong or throw in a little bit of emotion to mess it up. Women tend to argue mostly emotionally. And so we end up butting heads because we're coming from two different directions. The guy doesn't understand why she's not being reasonable, why she doesn't get it. It's so simple. It's just A plus B equals C. I mean, how does she not get that? She seems to think we can just do A plus B and get D. We can do A minus B and get A plus B plus C. And why didn't she understand that we can't spend, $2,000 on this every month, and we can't buy all those expensive clothing. We can't take a vacation like, the Jones next door are taking vacations because we don't have money right now because we just spent all that money on our daughter's braces. This is stuff that guys, women, and men argue about because they come from two entirely different angles. Oh, I almost forgot about the Sanctuary Guardian. Of course, we'll get to the Sanctuary Guardian. So we will probably end it after defeating the Sanctuary Guardian. That's good. I like having a boss fight. Although this episode did include Seath, right? Let's go human. Although I have the worst luck here. I have the worst luck not getting any summons here. I don't know why. We're going to reverse and then kindle. Because why not? Even though we have 12 Estus right now, in case we die, it'll bring us back up to 10. I don't anticipate dying, but then again, this playthrough has not been my best. This has not been my best work, guys. You know that. Those of you that have seen my other playthroughs, let everyone else know in the comments. I've done better work than this. I promise you. It's just the way things go sometimes. I am not too proud to put my work out there, even when it's not the best. We got a little extra time. What we will do is get rid of that ring. No point in having that on. What? Oh. For some reason, you can't put it right by the fog gate, so I don't know what that's about. And why they don't include a NPC summon here, I don't know. That would be nice. Yes, so gentlemen, if you start improving yourself and you have a long-term relationship, particularly a woman you live with, anticipate that she might get nasty, and maybe in the next episode we'll talk about the idea of long-term game as in how you interact with a woman, the interaction, the intergender dynamics of how men and women interact with each other. Not game in the sense of how to trick a woman into getting in bed with you. That's not the idea behind it. I mean, maybe that is ultimately one of the goals, of course. You want her in bed with you, but the goal here is to facilitate a positive, healthy relationship for both parties. And game means doing that in a way that doesn't necessarily make sense for everyone. And now that, you know what? I did not get the Firekeeper Soul from Duke's Archives. Okay. Well, that's fine. We might not even bother with it. Since we have the right of kindling and we have so much Estus, or humanity rather, then we can just get more Estus. So maybe we won't worry about it. Alright, we're going to cancel this and see if anything else pops up for us. Negative. Alright, let's just do it. We can't wait forever. Oh no! That's lightning. That's not good. Wow, that's a lot of damage. Okay, I almost feel bad. I almost feel bad. That was a massacre. That was a massacre. Although, I will say that based on the items that drop in Oolacile Township, you're not intended to be here. Well, you're intended to be here earlier in the progression of the game. I can say that because when they're dropping large Titanite, and I've I've maxed out my weapon and could have, gotten all my gear up to the Titanite chunk level, then clearly I've, in a way, sort of like out-leveled this area, so to speak. Okay, so we need another 10,118, something like that. There we go. Awesome. I don't anticipate needing anything from her. Repair powder and gold pine resin. The gold pine resin is actually really good. I found that as a general rule, it works better on most enemies than fire does. Although fire works particularly well, I believe, against Ornstein and Smo. Makes sense, because whichever one you kill, the other one rises up with lightning powers. So, heck, why not, you know? Let's do this. And buy another gold pine resin. I think it'd be great to use it on Artorias. The gold pine resin would probably shave off, I would say, 2 attacks, 3 at most, maybe. I'm just guessing, but it would shave off a couple attacks from the whole fight. And the fewer swipes you have to take at a boss, the shorter the fight is, the less chance you'll get hit and killed. So, yeah, that makes it easier, obviously. The pinnacle of that is to be able to one-shot a boss, but I don't do those kind of, like, Red Tear Stone Ring, Power Within type playthroughs. Never been my thing. Maybe someday. Well, hey, at this rate, guys, we might as well cut it. Perfect time. Just a little short of our normal episode. But I hope you enjoyed the topics at hand. We'll go over similar topics in the future, of course. I'm Fox with FoxeoGames. Make sure to follow me on my social media accounts. Facebook, Twitter, Gab, and Minds. I do most of my social media-ing on Twitter, so follow me there for sure. Links are in the description. I hope to see you next time, and as always, gentlemen, make sure to maintain your frame.